thank you for joining my YouTube channel. If you like these videos, please smash that like key, share the video with anyone you think it would be interesting, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and I hope that you are having a good day. With that being said, this is a tragic story that we are going to look into on this Unsolved. To this day, Unsolved. What a opportunity for the tarot cards to dive into this one. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and get ready for the story, because this is a strange one. We have Bobby Jamison, born August 4th, 1965, age 44. Wife Sherilyn Jamison, born November 5th, 1968, age 40. Madison Jamison, born August 1st, 2003, age 6. The story starts out with the 2009 disappearance, October 8th of 2009. Bobby, Sherilyn, and 6-year-old Madison is the most bizarre backstory that you're ever going to hear. In 2013, they went missing on October 8th of 2009. In 2013, their bodies were found, and it was impossible to determine the cause of death. Could be murdered. Who killed them? Why? Remains a mystery. What happened to them? October 8th, they lived in Eufaula, Oklahoma, some 30 miles where their body was found in the area of Sans Bois mountain range called Red Oak. The family traveled there because Bobby and Sherilyn were going to purchase a 40-acre plot of land, which was on the internet. Their plans were to live in a storage shed that the family already owned. They were having financial difficulties. This could have been, spur of the moment decision, as Sherilyn had a son from a previous marriage, Colton, and he saw his mother 2 weeks prior to the family's disappearance, and he said Sherilyn made no mention of the family's plan to relocate. October 8th, they loaded up their pickup truck. They were never seen alive again. They weren't heard from in several days, which was somewhat normal for them. They tended to disappear. After 8 days of hunting in their whereabouts, the police located the truck, and that's when things got weird. It was about an hour's drive from their home, and based on the contents in the truck, it didn't appear that they planned on being gone for very long. The cell phones, wallets, purse, family's malnourished dog, which I heard did survive, were all located inside the truck, along with the GPS maps and $32,000 in cash. Truck was in good condition, no signs that an accident had occurred. This is the area that the truck was found. You can see how remote this is. This was Madison's last photo, which friends claim she looked not a real smile and almost looked terrified, arms crossed, strange position. This is the town of Eufaula, which also happened to be the location where Tommy Eastep disappeared July 7th of 2013. In April of 2017, his remains were found. No cause of death, again, could be determined. And Peggy McGuire, 11/16 of 2015, 28 years old, and she has not been found yet. So this town has some weird stuff going around. There was a theory that they were into drug dealing or, did drugs themselves based on some strange footage on the camera that, by the way, the mother had installed because her husband, who is now passed away, had threatened also to kill Bobby, Sherilyn, and Madison. He was not a healthy person. And so the mother, Bobby's mother, put security cameras up, and that's what caught the footage of them last seen alive, kind of loading up their truck in sort of a methodical zombie type situation, which people found to be strange. It was known that they had marital problems. Bobby had a car accident in 2003, left him in chronic back pain, affected his mood. Sherilyn suffered from bipolar, had prescribed medications, which she sometimes did not take. Sherilyn also owned a gun, which turned up to be missing. So then there was a theory that maybe Sherilyn, it was a murder-suicide, which, according to their friends, would not be normal for either one of them. Little Madison was talking to an imaginary friend named Emily, and it was discovered that Sherilyn considered herself to be a witch. And when someone had killed her cat, she did some strange graffiti. Witches don't like their black cat killed in the neighborhood. Bobby also thought he saw spirits on the roof, and so Bobby actually asked someone if there was a special bullet that was able to kill spirits. That added another strange element to the story. They had a boarder come in because Bobby wasn't able to do some of the maintenance in the house, and the boarder acted strange one day when Bobby was out of the house, and Sherilyn actually got her pistol and threatened him to leave, and she shot several rounds at his feet to get him to leave. When the police hunted him down, thinking that was a lead, he was in a white supremacist group, and he had told Sherilyn that he knew that she had Native American in her blood and that only white people could live, and he was basically making a threat upon her life. But when they investigated him, he had an alibi. There were several drug and satanic rings in the area. So did they just come across something, a drug ring or something that they shouldn't have come across, some gang type of situation? So you can see how strange this whole thing is. Sherilyn's mother, Connie Cocaton, claims her daughter and son-in-law and granddaughter could have been on an Oklahoma cult hit list. She said part of Oklahoma is known for cults and stuff like that, what I've been told and from what I've read. Around the time of Sherilyn's disappearance, she could have been on the cult's hit list. Police have not found any links to this. In fact, they don't have really any links or leads at this time to this horrific situation. There's also a theory of spiritual warfare. Could this been of good and evil spirits who took over, the devil type of theory? So, it's hard to know what is going on, but we are definitely, by the way, there was a theory that they were involved in drugs. However, no drugs at all were found in the house or in the truck. So the strange thing about this is Bobby's dad, had threatened to kill them. However, at the time he was not in good health at all. He'd been in poor health for a long time, and his family does not feel he was even capable of killing himself, let alone anyone else, or that he played a role. It was rumored that the dad had connections to the Mexican mafia. So there we go. He died in December of 2009, by the way. So he died 2 months after. Could this have been a kidnapping plot? Although they did not take Madison, all 3 bodies were found. So we're going to ask the tarot cards. We're going to consult the tarot cards and see if we can figure out some insights at the very least into what happened. Now, your questions that you ask the tarot cards are very important, how you frame the questions. So sometimes in the beginning, what I do is I get out a deck that can handle this type of situation, which is the Haunted House Tarot. Then I will, along with that, pull from my go-to deck the Universal Weight cards. So first, we just are going to ask the general story of take us to the day of the murder, or murder-suicide, or did they just get lost and die in the woods? Although that theory, because of the angle that the truck was parked, it looked like somebody ran them off the road. So take us up to the murder point, and let's see what the cards have to say. Up to the point where, I hate to say murder, but up to the point where they, were last alive. So here we have two women discussing something, right? So they're discussing something. This almost gives me the feeling of, oh, let's just say premeditated. This happens to be tarot card 14, which in the tarot is the Temperance card. And if you go by the Temperance card, if we want to read in the tarot definition of the Temperance card, this does talk about having balance in your life. It can be somebody that's not balanced, right? It's means everything in moderation. The weird thing about the card is in most of the decks there is a winding road up a mountain, which is kind of interesting that their bodies were found on the mountain. But because I'm using this deck, I'm going to go that there's two women talking in here, all right? This could be a plot, who knows? So, wrong deck. Get the deck back out. Let's see what is happening next. This is very interesting. This particular person has gloves on, or yeah, they've got gloves on, and it appears to me that there's money, some kind of money involved here. So they did have 32,000 in the truck, but it was not discovered. Nobody went through the truck evidently looking for money. Now this is interesting because this shows rising up and being greeted by the angels. So this is like rising up and either getting your angel wings, turning into an angel. Somebody caused the death, is what I'm kind of thinking this deck is telling us. This is a woman. Now there is like a weird skeleton hand coming out here, and this woman is observing the situation. So we'll just, that's the Four of Cup card. Wow, we have a lot of focus on a woman here. So this is very weird. Focus on a woman, focus on a woman, women. What was going on here? We're going to jump to the other tarot cards. I'm going to leave those cards out for now. And we're going to say to this deck, the universal weight, take us from the moment before they were killed or died and what happened. So this is somebody racing in with a weapon, all right? Somebody raced in with a weapon, all right? So that's anger, somebody angrily coming in with a weapon. This is paid. Oh, being paid for some kind of justice or something, or because this would almost indicate that the mother thinking they were on a hit list. This is money coming out. This could be the plotting and the money paid. There could have been money paid to take them out. And this could have been her. There's kind of like weapons, or there's something around her. I don't know what is around her, but like she could have been pleading for her life, right? She could have been pleading for her life. Or somebody was. And let's just keep going with this. So they're in the spirit world now, because that's the card about being in the spirit world, but it's also another six. We have Six of Pentacles. We have Six of Wands. All right, there's two sixes. Six is being of service to someone, being of service to someone. And this is superior. Someone thinks they're superior. This could also indicate like a cult, and you've got the followers down here, and you've got a cult leader. This could indicate culty behavior. We don't know yet. We're going to keep going here. Wow, a knight on a knight. And both of these are the fired up knights. This could also be construed as a weapon. These are the two knights in the tarot that are fired up, ready to go. They are fired up and they are ready to go. Here's the fear. This is the child, fearful. So I do believe that that child knew something was wrong, because here's the fearful child. We do kind of have like a devilish horned figure here. And we've got kind of a woman that is holding a pentacle. We're not quite sure who she is yet. Oh boy. The Five of Swords. Somebody had a weapon. We've got a weapon. We've got a weapon. Okay. So this was definitely murder. 100% they were murdered. This was not a murder-suicide, according to the cards. Now, this is allegedly for entertainment purposes only. This is a tarot reading, and it's my personal interpretation of the cards. So we've got a weapon here. It could have even been more than one person involved. And this is definitely murder, and this would be racing into murder. There was obviously some money handed off. It wasn't that they were after the money from the people. They probably didn't even realize it was in the truck, but this was definitely, it could be that they were paying money for drugs or something, and they did come across them unexpectedly. This could be the unexpectedly card, and they had to take them out for what they witnessed. Let's keep going. Okay, so this is like protection, like self-protecting mode, and this is where spirit comes in. Like there was some kind of offer made. This could represent the three of them that were together. This feels like the opportunity arose, that they weren't happy that the three of them ran into the three of them. There was some offer being made that whoever was doing this dealing wasn't happy about the dealing, and the three showed up. Yeah, this was some kind of a deal. All right, this is money, some kind of deal, working out some kind of deal. And bang, there's the weapon. They had to take them out, and they took them out because the mountain was remote. Oh wow. Was this, I'm going to ask my cards, was this a group effort to take them out? Okay, one person took them out, because this is the Hermit. When I ask group and you get the Hermit, he's alone. So somebody alone took them out. Okay. I'm just going to keep pulling cards because the cards will keep telling the story. So I see this. There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of confusion about, what to do with this situation. And a cover-up. Here's the cover-up, and here's the confusion of what do they do. So there was a moment of pure confusion about what was going to happen to them and what to do with the child. This is definitely the cult card. It's satanic cult, or some kind of evil cult. They were trapped, so they had no way out. There was no way they were going to escape. They were trapped. And there was like the leader. Like they could have possibly consulted a leader of the cult. Here again, we have another horned being, just like landed right on the card. The horned being, see the horned being in the card below it in the same pile. Horned being, horned. And this is the leader of a cult. This is definitely, they ran across something. Or the cult wanted them deceased, and maybe that's why they were acting so strangely loading up the truck, because that cult was after them, and maybe they were trying to escape the cult, and that's why they were behaving so strangely on the were they aware that this cult was after them before they died? Were they aware this cult was after them before this happened? So this just tells me that we're going to move to a different area. This is my 2 different cities. This is getting in the car and leaving. Were they aware? They used the willpower. This is the card about willpower. And I'm going to pull another one because that's a major card, just to confirm. I think they were aware of it, but they kept it hidden. I think they were aware of it, but they kept it hidden because they're like, oh my gosh, now what's going to happen to us? So I think all these spilled cups, what's going to happen to us? And this was kept hidden. I wonder if there's a mountain stream, if there was a mountain stream nearby. I don't know why I'm talking about the mountain stream. Now I'm going to ask something very unusual. I'm going to get a different deck of cards, and I'm going to ask if this cult that did this, are they going to be caught? Let's see, which deck do I want to ask? I'm going to ask the Robin Wood. Will this cult be caught? Ooh, Knight of Cups. They moved. So they're not in the area. This is like, we got to move. And look at how hidden they are. We've got to move. And look at the mountains over here. So like they moved to the other side of the mountain or some other location. Because that's the movement card. And this is the movement card. Whoa. Some woman's focused on them. Some woman wants to tear off this hidden aspect of them and expose them. That might be this woman thinking, I should turn in this cult, the skeleton hand. Should I turn in this cult? There is a key woman in this cult that knows what happened and is pondering pulling the veil off and exposing this cult. Yeah, here's the money being paid off. It's definitely, whoa. It's this is also standing the ground. This is a very this almost tells me satanic, because this is a spiritual card, and standing their ground. Like there's a lot of problems in this cult. There's a lot of money handed off too, payoffs and that. But this woman's key. She is thinking of turning the facts over to someone. Yeah, there's been too many deaths. Oh my gosh. There's been too many deaths by this cult. I also want to ask, was this same cult responsible for Tommy Eastup? Was the same cult responsible for the death of Tommy Eastup, which was also in the same area? So there's the Empress. Boy, there is a woman that is key to this, because it's really coming in. That's the Page of Pentacles focused on him. Oh my gosh. It's the same woman that showed up. The Queen showed up again. I think the cult was focused on him too. I just have to tell you, when the same card shows up, I think it was the same cult. Let's move on to the next person. Peggy McGuire has never been found. Is the same cult responsible for Peggy McGuire's disappearance? She's never been found. Oh my God. There's the Queen again. What is with this woman? Please come forward. Oh, her body's in water. So she's buried. She is thrown in the water. And it's probably bitter cold up in the mountains, because here's the mountains, and she is in the water. Oh gosh. And yes, she was young. She was only 28 years old. That's a young person. and came across them again, came across this far away from her home, came across them again. Here's like, oh my gosh, what have I run into here? Yeah. Oh, partying with a drink. Maybe I'll have to do a video on Peggy McGuire, because this is about partying, having a drink, or something to do with a drink. I might have to do a separate video on her. So let's get back to the Jamisons. Are the Jamisons, is this case for the Jamisons going to be solved? This is the Connolly Tarot. Is the case for the Jamisons ever going to be solved? King of Cups. Well, that gives me a little bit of hope. The King of Cups is the master. And the Six of Wands is success. I can stop right there. This case might remain cold for a while, but this cult group is going to screw up. And I think that they're going to be caught, or that woman, this woman who's pondering turning them in, is going to turn them in. Is there anything that can be done? Like, people say prayers and things like that. Is there any energy that can be sent to get this group caught sooner? Any energy that can put out there to get the group caught sooner? There's the spiritual woman. That's the Queen of Wands. You know who this would be? This would be Sherilyn from the other side, the black cat. She was indicating that she was a witch. Remember her black cat? This is Sherilyn wanting to speak. Sherilyn, I'm going to leave you out. She's coming through loud and clear. And this is my deck, Steampunk, for communicating with deceased people. Sherilyn, what do you want to say about what happened to you? It never occurred to me to talk to Sherilyn from the other side until this black cat showed up. And remember that someone found her, or killed her cat, and she said witches don't like the black cat, and I suddenly pull a card with a black cat. This would be Sherilyn speaking from the spiritual world. All right, here we go. Sherilyn, what do you want to say? What do you want to say, Sherilyn? Okay. They were wounded, because here's the wound on the lion. And so, Sherilyn, were you the last one killed? Because the wound, and this is, they're in the spirit world now. What else do you want to say? So we understand that you were wounded. And this is the Knight of Pentacles. And once again, this is somebody walking in the mountains. Look at the mountain range. Somebody walking in the mountains. You're walking in the mountain range. We don't know quite who this Knight of Pentacles is. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Somebody was writing. Oh, they found her. She had written an 11-page letter because she was so angry at Bobby, that she wrote an 11-page letter that was pretty hateful to Bobby. And so she's talking about writing that letter. I mean, this card has the pen and paper in there about writing the letter. So, okay, Sherilyn, what do you want to say about that? They found your letter. What do you want to say about that? She's looking at me, looking at the cards. Oh my gosh. All right. She's fascinated that I can talk to her with the cards, but she said her and Bobby, and the child are in the spirit world, and she's glad the little dog, there's two little dogs here, but she's glad the little dog survived. And she said her and Bobby are in love on the other side. I think she regretted writing that letter, because look at that. They are happy on the other side, and she's honoring me for getting this message through. For the friends that wondered about whether or not they could kill each other, absolutely not. They are together in love with their child. They're all three together, and I don't know if the dog is passed by now. They could be with the dog, but at any rate, she's glad that someone found the dog. This is the Ace of Swords. She definitely wants this group caught. This is like the power from the other side. See the electricity, like the power, the sword. She definitely wants who did this to be caught. And this is her from the other side doing what she can. She's like, I'm on the other side, and what do you have in your hand? She's got something in her hand, and she's doing what she can on the other side to get this solved. And she shows a bar. There's a connection. A woman who witnessed something at a bar knows something. A woman working at a bar, somebody got drunk, maybe they admitted something happened, but there's a woman that maybe one of the people in the cult got drunk, and she knows something. She knows something. So this would be her peeking through the veil saying, I want justice. See the justice card? I want justice to be done. She wants justice. She wants justice to be served in their tragic deaths. Well, we are certainly, Sherilyn, happy that you came through. We're happy that it wasn't murder-suicide. We're tragically sad that that you were murdered in the way that you were. And absolutely, we will send prayers and thoughts and energy to having this solved. Absolutely, we would all be willing to do that for you and your beautiful family. And yes, it wasn't a perfect family. 8 of Wands. So she's saying the more people that can put their energy to this being solved, this is physical or spiritual energy. This is like firing spiritual energy out. The faster this could be caught. So in other words, this is the 8 of Wands is the card about sending out spiritual energy, and capturing this. There is like a main person here with the skull on the shelf, capturing this person. Could be that the person has a receding hairline, and it might be that they have a professional job. They've got some contracts here, meaning contracts for people's lives possibly. There's contracts here. They're fairly intelligent. They do things by the books. Do you Sherilyn, do you know who this is? Do you know who this person is that murdered you? 3 of Cups. Well, that's the 3 of them. Something's written. Sherilyn, do you know who did this to you? Shit. Leader of a cult. You know, I'm not going to say anything, but that white supremacist that they hired for the house, that's a cult. And even though that guy had an alibi, could he possibly have paid to have them taken out of revenge? Because she did shoot at his feet. I wonder if he's bald now or bald now. I wonder if that suspect, that white supremacist that didn't like her native blood, because this is culty looking. And see the energy above putting her into spirit world? Look at the energy above on this card. See the energy above? Look at that. Oh my God. I mean, this is for entertainment purposes only, but it is certainly making me wonder if that white supremacy group had something to do. So he had an alibi, but was he a member of a group and had some other group, follow them to the mountain? Let me ask the other cards. Did that person that they hired that was interviewed and had an alibi, did they belong to a group that was responsible for murdering this beautiful family? And there we have, let's just really carefully look at this card, because this is a card that shows from the past, and it's somebody making an offer to its children, for one thing, making an offer, signing on a dotted X. There's a house in the background. We have another 6, by the way, just keeping track. It's interesting that 6 cards are coming up. There's the house, a burden to the house. Oh, man. You know, this is the point where I turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think? This is this, in case you guys want to research these cards further, the 6 of Cups, the 10 of Wands, and the Death card. This is one where I'm going to not put an accusation on this, but I'd like to leave it open to you guys for discussion. The 6 of Cups, just look at the images here that's going on. There's obviously death here. And this is somebody carrying some wands and a house in the background. A house in the background. Keep track of the symbols and what's going on. So this is interesting. All right, so I'm going to let you guys put your theories in the comments. What do you think? What do you think based on all these cards and this tragic event? What do you think happened? And I'm going to let this go, but this was a very interesting reading that one of my viewers suggested, and when I started researching this, it was just unbelievable, the amount of twisting and turning that this case has. So put your thoughts below, and thank you for joining my YouTube channel.